What's up, world? Welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Darian, your stock market coach, also known on social media as Lewis Premier Stocks. So I wanted to come on here and introduce myself to those who do not know who I am or what I do. So I am a stock market coach. I've been investing in the stock market for about 5 years now. And what I do is I actually literally teach others how to get started in the stock market. And also I literally walk them through step by step with their first investment. And even those who have already started investing, but they still kind of haven't pieced everything together, I'm the coach to pretty much bridge that gap for them, just to make sure that they understand what they're doing and they're able to manage their investments on their own and invest with a purpose. That's the biggest thing, because my biggest thing is I want to empower others to wealth build. I want others to know that, hey, you don't have to worry about how much money to even get started. You can start with whatever you have. It's not just for the rich. This is how people build wealth. They use the tools around them, such as the stock market and real estate, to get started. So as a stock coach, I'm there to empower, teach, and bridge the gap and bring that education. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't advise anything. Only thing I do is guide. So basically how I got started, I'll be honest with you, I have no prior knowledge of the stock market prior to me started investing. What motivated me to get started was I come from a working class family, 2-parent household, went to college, got a degree. But in that time frame, I went to go get a corporate job outside of what my degree is. Got a degree in mass communications. To be honest with you, I worked in the banking industry, which was Wells Fargo. Basically, my time at Wells Fargo, corporate job, I thought I made it. But then I just started to feel like, hey, what happens if this job lets me go today? For whatever reason, meaning I could be doing my job, I could be doing everything, but life happens. What happens if something like that happens? What do I have to fall back on? Do I want to just rely on the fact that I'm gonna have to just find another job, or do I need to have my eggs in other baskets? So I wanted more for myself. So what I started basically doing was researching, how do people build wealth? I ended up looking up and seeing that people build wealth mostly through real estate and the stock market. These are two things that wasn't really conversations in my household necessarily, or even around in college and stuff like that, and around amongst my peers. All we know was, hey, get a degree, get a good job, and you're good. But I just kind of wanted more out of life, and I just felt like the job security wasn't the end all be all. So that's when I started doing my research and getting interested in ways to build wealth and ways to build financial security outside of just relying on a good job. So what interested me into the stock market was because the stock market has always been something, I'm gonna be honest, in my community, that sometimes we got a lot of misconceptions about. Like, we think it's only for the rich, or it's too complicated to learn. So I wanted to challenge myself and be like, hey, I want to learn about the stock market, because that's something that, you know, people try to shy away from, definitely. So what I decided to do is I started doing my research on stock market investing. In that time frame, I'm not going to lie to you, I did do some research. I used different resources. I started watching some YouTube videos, all that stuff, all that good stuff. But I'm not going to lie to you, I still kind of invested blindly. And what I mean by that is I kind of just still jumped out there, not really knowing the ins and outs totally, and I got burnt. And what I mean by that is just me investing into things just for the heck of it and selling stuff too early, just not being patient with the whole thing of wealth building. So after that, me getting burnt, I made a dedication to myself, and me getting burnt was on myself. I take accountability for that because I invested blindly. And that's one of the main things I tell my students. Like, we cannot invest blindly. We need to know what we're investing in, what we're investing into, and why we're investing into it, and why does it even make sense to be an investment. Because the biggest thing is you want quality over quantity. It's about the quality of a stock versus how many you could get via like price and stuff like that. Just because something is cheap doesn't mean it's necessarily good. So that's what I did. I was just investing into random stuff just for the heck of it, not really knowing the background. So I started getting serious. So fast forward about 2017, 2016, because I started around 2015. So around 2016, 2017, I started getting more serious. I started doing my research. I'm not gonna lie, Dr. Boyce Watkins is one of the people who really opened my eyes to learning about the stock market and really taking it serious and knowing it's a tool to build wealth. And it's for the everyday person. Like, we just don't have to spend our money on things that give us no return, which are liabilities. Liabilities give you no return. It's time to start putting our money into assets. And I felt that. I really felt that message that he was driving home for the community. Like, hey, we need to not just put our money into frivolous things. We need to put our money into things that we can get a return in, because that's how we can create wealth. So I got serious. I started investing with a purpose. So this is 2016, 2017. By 2018, I was starting to go into the motion where I didn't want to rent no more. I was ready to buy a home. So me and my partner she became my wife. But at that time, we were still dating, but we made a decision. We got married and made a decision, hey, we're going to go buy a house, because it just didn't make sense for us to rent anymore. Rent was rising, and it didn't make sense. Our credit was in a good place. The income was in a good place. So we decided to go ahead and take that step to go buy a home. So in that process, we look for a home, all that good stuff. So when we get fast forward, this is 2018, we're about to close on the home. So we got a down payment that we need to come up with the money with. So what I did was, because I had been investing with a purpose. Now this is going into a year and a half, 2 years. I started investing with a purpose. So I'm getting returns in my account. And what I mean by that is I haven't cashed out any of my profit yet, but I'm seeing the growth. I'm seeing my money literally growing. So what I did was I pretty much cashed out some of those profits from my portfolio, meaning where all my stocks were at. And I used some of that money towards my down payment. I didn't have to go ask my mother, my in-laws, cousins, friends, family, anybody random. I had to ask them for a down payment, or even have to get down payment assistance. I actually use one investment vehicle to put it into another investment, which is home ownership. And that right there, it just clicked to me like, dang, this is real. Like, I was taking it serious, but I actually witnessed the power of it when I was able to use the stock market profits towards a down payment of home, which was like major. So boom, we make the down payment on the home. We move into our home. So I'm excited. I'm like, hey, I got to start talking I talked about my friends and family a little bit about it, but I didn't really get into the motion of it. I kind of was like, before I talk to them about it, let me make sure I know what I'm doing and it makes sense. I'm just not going to bring anything to their attention unless it really makes sense. And I actually experience it to be something that's positive for real, because I'm like one of the first people in my immediate family, around immediate friends, to really go into that lane, to, get out of just the consumer mindset of buying just random stuff to going into, hey, I'm ready to invest my money because I'm ready to grow it. So boom, we bought the house. It was great. It just felt so good to have ownership, just not in the stock market anymore, but in the home. And like I said, I experienced the power of investing in the stock market. So I started talking to my friends and family about it. And I was like, hey, y'all can do the same thing. Even if you're not even looking to buy a home, you want to grow your money, you need to put your money into the stock market. I actually got, like I said, I seen the benefit of it. It was a short period of time, and wealth is I'm still building on that right now, but I was able to get something out of it. I had assets to move into another asset, which is a home. So I started teaching my friends and family about it. And one of my family members was like, look, you know what you're talking about. You're real good at breaking down something so complex that people stare away from and don't really want to get involved in the community. You're breaking this down so well. And you actually had the benefit of it. You need to start putting yourself out there. So I ended up putting myself out there. Like I said, I've been talking about it with friends and family when I brought my home. But last year I started putting myself out there and basically spreading the word, because my biggest thing is, it's just not about me. It's a community thing, and it's even just a global thing. Like, we got to know that the everyday person, we got to know that, hey, it's just not for the wealthy. The wealthy built their wealth through somebody. Somebody had to start it. So if you and your family wouldn't be considered, they're just working class or whatnot, if you are really passionate and you want another way out, meaning like you just don't want the typical, you want your family members to have something to benefit from, you want to have something to benefit from outside of just, hey, we just got these jobs or whatever and just these degrees. If you want an asset, we got to start building it our own. We don't have to wait for somebody else to do it. We could do it our own. So I just wanted to touch the everyday person and let them know, hey, this is tangible just for you, just for you, just like it was for me. So that was my biggest thing. So, and I just always love helping people. That's another thing. So just my passion about investing in the stock market and just helping others was like my biggest thing. So that's what kind of motivated me to become a stock market coach. It's been a year since I've been putting myself out there, and I've been able to reach hundreds. I plan on reaching thousands, millions one day, because I really just want the everyday person to know you can create wealth too. You don't have to feel like just because I wasn't born with it, it's not obtainable. No, you can build it for yourself too, and you can benefit from it, and your family members after you, whoever that you call as a person of someone you love, they can benefit from it too, via they're alive right now, or they're going to be children that you have down the line, or nieces and nephews or cousins. They can benefit from it too, because the biggest thing is I always look at it like this, because my parents, they always instilled this in me. They wanted us to do better than them. They didn't want us to go through some of the challenges that they went through. They wanted us always to see what they went through and do better, and they always taught us to do better. So that's the main thing too. We want the generations after us to continue to have better. We don't want to go backwards, we want to go forward, so the forward starts with you. That's my biggest thing. So enough about me rambling and all that good stuff, but I just wanted to let you all know I'm dedicated to bringing more of this. I know it's plenty of other people who talk about it too, but I'm just passionate about the stock market, and I love just coaching others and empowering them. That's the biggest thing. Like, hey, I know you felt like this was just for the wealthy, but this is for you too. And this is a person who looks like you, an everyday person. I didn't come from a silver spoon. I come from a working class family, honest people with integrity. And I got a college degree. I worked in corporate America. I know how it goes. So I relate to that. See, we don't have these conversations about business and wealth in the everyday household, but we need to start doing it. I didn't come from that, but I learned that is a way that you can create financial stability outside of just relying on these degrees and these jobs, because these degrees and these jobs, you can't pass them down. They're not assets. We want to pass something down so we can let the other generations, they don't have to go through certain challenges. They can continue to build off of what we have, the foundation. So that's my biggest thing. But welcome to my YouTube channel again. Like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, because I'll be dropping some gems where I can, and just interacting with you all. Also too, I'm on social media at Lewis Premier Stocks on Facebook and on Instagram. If you want to contact me on my email, you can reach me at lewispremierinvestments@gmail.com. If you're interested in my coaching services and my e-courses, I also have those, and I have actually people students that review my courses, and for the most part, most people, they like my courses and stuff like that, because my biggest thing is I want to make sure I break down everything in a very simple but valuable way. And what I mean by that is I'm going to break down this information to you in a simple way, but it's very valuable because it's going to take you somewhere. But thank y'all again for tuning in. I look forward to continue to converse with you all. And if you're interested, like I said, in my e-courses and coaching services, I'll have the link in the description box. But once again, like, comment, and subscribe. And this is Darian, your stock market coach.